welcome listeners to Pennsylvania's top-rated Aries podcast, The Full Send Reject.
You're such an Aries.
I'm such an Aries, but I'm also Kodack,
I'm the other Kodak.
And I'm Billy.
and we're the host through this fantastic adventure of today's bullshittery. I'm a little tipsy. On today's episode, we are swirly and we're going to talk ghosts, bring awareness to a cause near and dear to us. And Billy, you are going to be discussing Harvey Robinson.
Yeah, I didn't tell you what it was, did I?
No, you didn't. It really threw me off. Usually I'm like, oh, fuck, I forget. I feel like a dick. I have to ask him again. This time he didn't tell me at all. Dick.
Well, I know better.
You know what? I give you surprises. It's fair to give you surprises too. Fuck it. Fair warning, as we will discuss shortly, this is my birthday weekend. So this is basically a live episode. Barely any editing will be recurred for this.
So we will sound hard R word.
So hard R for us is rhymes with dape.
No, shush.
Don't that's what we use as reference for. Don't do that.
Rose, did you read through mine? Because, wow.
Oh my god, you're going to be like an asshole soon. I might have to edit this. We're gonna be a little
No,
special.
you won't feel like an asshole, trust me.
Oh, okay. So the already low budget we have for these episodes, low production, is going to be even lower. However, we appreciate you taking this ride with us. And as this episode does pique your interest, we do have some other episodes I'd like to bring up. Our bonus episode before this featured a delightful beer bait between us where we drink and debate different subjects. Definitely check it out. As I just mentioned, this week after this episode, bonus episode will be the birthday party recap. It's definitely going to be one for the books. One being listened to this week that I definitely suggest taking a look and listen to would be episode 50, our 1 year special. And one that we came out a year ago was our Peddler's Grave special episode. Bailey, that was all you.
Schuylkill County.
That was before we had a current format, and we are kind of just still figuring out where we are in this podcast. So if you're interested in that, definitely go to our episodes, look up the Peddler's Grave, you will find it. It is one of Schuylkill County's first murders, so check it out.
You come full circle.
I come full swirly.
Full circle rejects.
Full circle. Oh, I like that.
We're spinning in circles. We're spinning in circles.
Swirly circle, swirly circle. However, as always, we will. Let me fix this microphone. As always, we will kick things off with our pre-topic banter. With today, we have a new country listen to us. Welcome, Poland.
The motherland.
The motherland. It's probably no surprise, considering last week we were covering Auschwitz with Dr. Joseph Mengele. I shouldn't say doctor because his licenses were revoked by Germany in the 60s. And also Dachau. That is also the Aries episode, so a lot going on there. So
welcome, Poland.
I should have looked up how to greet Poland in Polish. Welcome, Poland. Oh, I shouldn't say German.
I should remember, but I do not.
Listen, we have a Polak among us. Billy, you're a Polak Jew, so
I do have a DNA
Ish.
test coming Monday, and I will get it sent out for testing. Although Auntie got hers back, and she is 9% Jewish, which means I do got a little Jew in me.
And I was raised by Polacks, so partially anyway. My stepdad's side of the family, I think now. What would be my great grandfather, I believe, immigrated from Poland to the city of Shamokin, Pennsylvania.
Oh, that one just has a bad taste.
It's one of the worst places in the state. I'm sorry, Commonwealth.
The Commonwealth. Yes, but welcome Poland.
It was our first new country in quite a while. So I don't know about you guys, but whenever I see a new country pop up, I get a little excited.
I'm sorry if we dropped the ball on a lot of stuff.
Well, listen, the more countries we get into us, the more they comment and react to things. I've seen a few people from Germany listening to our last episode too. Hopefully, they can provide some more feedback and more inclusiveness. Broadens our horizons and gives us new insight on what we should talk about and whatnot. So I welcome it.
I'll take anything.
Listen, I just love
How's it
interacting.
going, man?
Listen, when we started this, you had told us, hey, we're in 13, 14 countries, I would have told you you're lying. So
I'd like to see more interaction on our socials, especially after your Sandusky
that guy's
posting.
he's still commenting. He's denying the sexual. Oh, like Sandusky himself did not admit in court. Hey, I showered naked with the young boys.
But I'd like to see more action like that. I would like to see our listeners just go head to head with their own personal opinions and just going after each other or even after us. Cause
Oh yeah, I'll take criticism. I think that's
Tell
very
us we're
important.
doing bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
Although my favorite fan interaction so far, the one I enjoyed the most, was when Billy did that. You have to remind me, Billy, when we did for October, we did all the horror movie inspirations of your idea, and he
Right.
did one who was in.
the real life Ghostface, wasn't it?
Was it Ghostface?
Yeah, that was
I was
Florida.
like, was his neighbor, and we're like, oh shit, and we got
Yeah.
yeah, we got some insight. It was just really interesting to me.
I'd like to see more stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
That'd be fun.
like he didn't want to come on and talk about it, but just for us to get some information, it was really cool.
I forgot
Oh,
about that.
Oh, no, that's probably my favorite, one of my more favorite fan interactions.
speaking of interactions,
Speaking, oh, transition. Transition. This past weekend, me and my son Cole, we were able to go down to Bloomsburg to go visit Helix Tabletop Games and see someone we talked about in our last episodes who we want to do another thing shortly with. Oh, yeah, they just said they want to do a topic over the summer. Games Overboard featuring Shanna. They were doing an event there to raise money for a children's hospital. We were
Hey,
able to go.
don't forget Will House Exorcism too.
I was getting there because when I said about listening to Games Overboard first, Shanna did shoot me a look. It's okay. They do Games Overboard where they review board games. It's very fun to me. It just takes me back. It makes me think, and I'd be seeing friends and whatnot. We be playing games, or even what we do now, where we have game nights. They just have fun. They do these called dark stories, where it's kind of a riddle, but the answer is very, very dark. And then Shanna, she does Well House Exorcism, where if you enjoy our episodes where
we do all things spooky.
Spooky topics and whatnot, Shannon does a lot of that. This past week, their past episode, they talked about a lake monster found in Lake Erie, one of the 5 Great Lakes here in the States.
The Loch Ness?
It's not Nessie, it's Bessie.
By the way, way more research than any of us do.
Oh no, she does incredible research, and it's really fun too. It's not just you're listening to someone ramble on. They joke, it's fun. And please go listen to them. I need to charge my computer. Holy shit, I just realized it's almost dead.
I would not pass if they are one of my teachers. The amount of research they put into one episode.
Oh no, it's
I
insane.
realized that I would not pass one of their classes.
Yeah, charge my laptop. I just realized it's almost dead.
Minimal editing will be done. Also,
Maximum shit.
I am a mess.
But we were able. Oh, fuck. We were able to go down and play 2 games with them.
Are you in shackles? What the fuck?
No, I unbuckled my belt, and now my pants are falling down.
His pants are his knees.
No, these are my thighs, all right? Thunder thighs.
No, but it's just your belt is just hold on, let me just take this off.
Take it off. There you go. We take something else off.
No, you shush. Do the episode, sir.
Okay.
You-
But
your birthday presents come.
Fuck,
I
I missed the joke.
But I also won. They had a giveaway for their podcast for reaching a certain amount of listeners. I was able to win it. Got a few shirts, some buttons, some games. I actually purchased a game when I was down there with them. Dungeon Fighter, incredibly fun game. It was a fun time.
Oh yeah, I monopolized it. I am a freaking monster slayer.
Yeah, we had a ton of fun playing it. I brought it home, and Rose absolutely fell in love with it. But please go check them out. They also have a third podcast. I'll have to get their name of and update it, where they do D&D. So if you're into D&D, I'll have to update with their name. It's on me for not remembering it. But they do a lot of things over there, a lot of fun, a lot of research. Definitely more research that I do. I have I think next week I'll be talking about the changelings. They're doing an episode on that as well. And we're talking about right now in the summer, possibly doing another episode crossover. I know they want to do the old Ashland house that we talked about previously on this episode.
That spooky bitch.
Yeah.
Yo, they
Yeah.
sit out on the porch and I want to scream out the window. Yo, you ever seen any black hair bitches?
I every time there was actually a customer today that CJ did a job for. Was it today or the other day? And I saw the address on there and it said Center Street, Ashland, and I'm like, huh. I'm like, that's
Oh God, if it's the same house.
it is not.
Oh, thank
Because
God.
I know the address, but it wasn't too far. It was by Joe's.
Joe.
Like across the street?
Yeah, the tobacco and beer store. Yeah, I was like right across the street.
No, yeah, I know the house down there is haunted too. There's also a house that was up a few houses that when this nice old lady, the one I talked about before, where she was like she had to be a Yankees fan growing up, when she passed away, a lot of weird shit happened in that house. Only when it was dirty though.
The Historical Society is haunted. I did a ghost hunt there once.
Oh.
There's a lot of haunted houses there.
Well, fun fact, I told Nicole that's the street you lived on, and she's like, "Oh, I wonder if you know this person," because she has no idea where the reference came from. I'll tell you when we're not talking about it on air.
Okay, yeah, hard to figure that out.
See if you know that person because it's on.
Let's not blow up someone's spot for having bed bugs.
Good point.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to blow someone's spot up.
But just before we get to the next thing here, just again, go check out Games Overboard, Well House, Exorcism on Facebook. They're both underneath the Games Overboard because it started with Games Overboard, but Well House Exorcism is the more popular one. Sorry, PJ. It is what it is. Go check them out.
People love spooky shit.
Today is a special day.
Today is a special day. It is National Velociraptor Awareness Day. I love my dinosaurs.
That's why we're married. We didn't even plan that.
Nope.
We're just retarded.
Listen, the Velociraptor is one of my favorite dinosaurs.
Yes.
Contrary to what Jurassic Park does do, because they show the Utah Raptor, which they did not discover until after the movie came out. It's a weird coincidence. Velociraptors were a lot smaller. They weren't that, but
chickens.
I love raptors. They were the size of chickens back then. But International Velociraptors Awareness Day.
It's also another special day, isn't it, Billy?
Billy, what's today's day?
For fans of Jim Jefferies, it is Anal Sex Day. It is April 18th while we are recording this.
Booty power!
Oh, the decorations are out.
What decorations?
You have to listen a little bit, damn it.
How does one decorate for Anal Sex Day?
You need to listen to the bit.
Is there like how New Orleans has like bees they throw out for?
Yeah, you hang lube from the ceiling.
Just chuck bottles of lube at people.
Yeah.
What a fun day. Raptors and Anal Sex.
Both will tear your ass up.
Do we still have a dinosaur costume?
I do have a dinosaur.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing today. I'm going till midnight. So you can let me know because it's my birthday.
He's gonna want to do anal in the freaking
As a
dinosaur.
dinosaur. Da-na-na-na. Ow! Not enough lube. Na 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 na.
Roaring and shit.
I'm gonna make that ass extinct.
Rawr. A stands for adventure. Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Mhm.
Speaking of finishing.
Yeah. I finished a book
Yay!
that I read twice already. It just we have a habit of telling movies and things and shows that we watch. This is a book that I very much enjoy, highly recommend. American Sniper. It eventually became a movie featuring Bradley Cooper. As
Fantastic.
always, it was a great movie, but as always, the book shows so much more.
It doesn't show you.
There's a lot more in
It does with words, okay?
it does things with work. Okay, if you have imagination, if you think things out in your thought brain, okay, it's an amazing book, especially if you love the whole military and whatnot. Very good. Even if you don't, there's still so much in there that you would not think about because he gets very real about certain things, especially towards the end of the book. In the edition that I have, his wife and his friends talk about him post mortem. I mean, the book and movie's been out for years now, so I don't feel bad about spoiler alert. He was unfortunately killed by someone who he was trying to help. But this was someone when I was in the military, I was going in the military, he was like a personal hero to me as so many other people in the military. And his book is just fucking fantastic. So highly recommend it. Go read it. Go find it somewhere. It's perfect. And I don't have attention span to read a book, and I did it. So throwing that. But as I give this 5 stars, which is fire, someone here wanted to talk about favorite fire type Pokemon.
Well, I figured it was within the realm of this month's
Aries!
Fire
act.
types are such Aries.
They're such Aries.
They're my third favorite type of Pokemon. So
You don't have enough badges to train me, bucko.
So,
Charmander.
as our local Aries here, what is your favorite fire type?
So there's a few. And you'd be surprised to hear it's not Charizard. Like
That's overdone.
As
you've heard
much
of
as
my
you
top
want a
10.
holographic Charizard,
Yeah.
it's not your favorite.
He probably my top 10, but there are other ones. Now, I know some are later. Should I bring them so you can see them, what they are?
I have a list.
Okay. So one of my favorite is Infernape. He came out, I believe, Gen 4. It's a fire monkey. It's wonderful. His arc in the show is fucking beautiful. It's actually a lot like Charmander, which we saw the episode last week, abandoned as the first evolution, and he just becomes OP towards the end. He is fired up. He's fucking fantastic.
Fired
One
up.
of my favorites is one of the more recent ones. No, I can't think of his name. Centiscorch. It's a giant fucking centipede that's on fire. As soon as I saw it, it was fucking amazing to me. Thought it was a beautiful, like fantastic. One of my it's not an original, but it's one of my favorites from when I was a kid. Torkoal. It's just like this fucking just slow ass dopey looking thing. Uh,
He's a cold card.
yeah. However, in the show, this fucking G saw it's a fire type, saw a Pokemon go overboard in a ship and said, "Fuck it, I'm going to the water and rescuing this asshole." The fucking pimp.
National goddamn hero.
Yeah, it is. Magmar is one of my that's an original
love Magmar.
Magmar.
That was one
Wait,
of my original instincts to go with Magmar.
Yeah.
yeah. Wait till you see the episode where Magmar is the Magmar versus Charizard episode. Billy, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Is one of the best battles to this day in Pokemon.
Is Magmar your favorite
Original.
form of that? Like, or like, what was it?
It goes Magby, which was introduced
Yeah.
later in Gen 2, I think, and then
Mag
Mortar comes in
Mm.
Gen 4.
Isn't there a Mag Cargo, or is that different?
Mag Cargo is different. It goes Mag Cargo is Gen 3. That's the lava Pokemon with the molten rock on its back. That looks like
Yeah.
a snail.
Mhm.
Yeah, because that goes Slugma, then that one. I know a lot of people like Blaziken. That's a Gen 3. It's a Gen 3 starter Pokemon. It's a giant fighter chicken. It's awesome. It was one
Yeah,
of
I
my
love that one.
when I played competitive Pokemon, it was one of my favorites because its abilities and everything. It was fantastic. Houndoom was a great one of mine that I loved
Yep.
from back in the day.
Yep.
The spooky dog that shoots fire. How could you not? I think one of the last ones that I would actually there's oh fuck now I'm looking at it. There's 3 more. Oh fuck, there's 4 more. So
Are we
there's
gonna have favorite fire type and you list off like 15?
Yeah.
I'm going with my favorites. Okay, my favorite one would go back to being Infernape. That's my favorite one.
Okay.
But I think there's new ones that came out. Like the newest star that came out is a fire ghost. That's an alligator.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I have his name right, Skelderidge. If it wasn't for me having the what's the word when you like enjoy things from nostalgia, he would probably be my second favorite right now. But it's a fire ghost. Ghost being my favorite type of Pokemon is an alligator, which everyone knows I love alligators because of Steve Irwin. It's up there. There's just so many good fire types. Like there's Volcarona, which is a fire butterfly.
What's your favorites? Come on.
Well, I just said my favorite one
You
is
listed half the
I like
registry.
fire. I just said fire type. My third favorite type. My favorite one is Infernape.
Infernape.
Yeah,
What about you, Billy?
My I want to say Alolan Marowak, but if I'm going like original ones, Torracat's dope, so I love cats. And shout out to Chandelure.
wait, you say original and say Torracat?
No, if we're going like actual original fire type, not like a lowland or whatever.
You mean like original base form?
Yeah. Torracat's dope.
Oh fuck it, say a little Americat. Who cares? I love that thing. What's your favorite fire type?
I have a few. I mean, my list isn't as long as yours, but I'm not gonna be, like I said before, a basic bitch. If I wanted to pick a Charizard, it'd be the Mega Charizard X. The
The
black
dragon
one.
one.
The black dragon one. That
If
one's
I have a
sexy.
debate about that.
What?
So when I play competitive Pokemon,
Mhm.
which is when Megas came out, Mega Charizard Y was one of my staples
Mhm.
because it's the ability it got increased some of its attacks
Mhm.
and it gave it itself coverage because fire is weak to water, but due to its ability, it brought the sun out. And it also had the Solar Beam attack, which was a grass type move and just obliterated water types. It was just my favorite Pokemon to use at that time. So it just Mega Charizard Y just became an extra thing to me. But I also loved X because Charizard finally got that dragon type that it deserved.
Okay.
So funny story. One time, a long time ago, I went to GameStop and I bought a couple packs of Pokemon cards. And the cashier who I knew goes, "Oh, maybe you'll pull a blue Charizard." And it's the first fucking card I pulled out.
Is this the cashier that we both know?
No, this was forever ago.
Oh, okay.
I also do enjoy all evolutions of Eevee, so I would have to say Flareon.
Flareon's a good one. I like Flareon. Not my favorite evolutions. Evolutions, I'm sorry. But actually, is in my top 3.
But if I had to go with a legendary, I'd have to say Ho-Ho.
Ho-Ho is pretty
This
awesome.
is badass.
I'll take Moltres over Ho-Ho.
Moltres is typical fire, but Ho-Ho's is like a Pidgeotto on crack. It's just an angry bird with flames.
I mean, there's how many fire type legends? There's him, Moltres, Entei, which that Entei movie is fucking fantastic. Billy, have you seen that one? Oh, he's muted. Okay, he's taking a piss or getting a beer.
I did not see that one.
Oh my! I'm so disappointed, Billy. Okay, so you might cry a little bit, but just watch it. It's like Pokemon: The Mystery of the Unknown, I think it's called. It's a mind trip. Wonderful movie.
I think I started it and I
But
got distracted.
same shit. I know there's another one that features I forget its name, where it's like a fire water type. There's a mystical Pokemon that's a fire type, but Moltres is just fantastic for me.
Yeah, that's my picks. Speaking of favorite fire types, you, my beautiful, wonderful, amazing husband of mine, have a birthday party this weekend.
Yeah.
I like to take a quick moment to put our predictions into place for what to expect and what we think is going to happen. That way, when we do our bonus episode on what really happened, we can see who was correct, who was close, and who was way off base.
What's the over under on people dying? Because there's new people coming that have not drank here before.
There's
Yeah.
definitely at least a 1.5.
I was saying 2.5. Like 2.5 is a good bet.
Because 2 is the average norm of people, or 1.5. I would say at least 1.5 is
Like I feel like your friend's gonna suffer.
okay.
Is it Damien?
Damien.
Yeah, I think he's gonna suffer. CJ is
CJ's an automatic lock.
yeah, like he accepts it, like he knows it's gonna happen. He's
When
there
he
for
walks into that house, he's just okay.
yeah,
He looks forward to it happening.
yeah, that's not a casualty. That's just he accepts it. I feel like Carly's gonna feel it
That's fair.
because she's never drank here.
No. She has not yet entered the Bermuda Triangle.
I'm trying to think. I have a few new people. That's who just text me right now, making sure that's still the right time and everything. I feel like one of them is not gonna survive. That's probably 4.
I feel like JT has the mindset of to where if he needs to
He's also
crash, he crash.
he
So
already told me he's gonna be staying.
okay,
Yeah, he told me that too.
so
Yeah.
I already expect him to bring full fucking send it energy.
So maybe 3.5, 4.5 is a good line.
Yes, but as far as people dying, I don't think
That's what I'm saying.
I
Like
think there's gonna be some upchuck. I think it's gonna be
That porta potty's getting returned and you ain't getting the security deposit back.
well, we didn't pay for it, so it's all right. I think it's gonna be prime time. I can outdrink anybody here, Lizzie, before they completely vomit. I think someone's gonna get to that point to where they're gonna have the confidence of Miss Elizabeth,
yeah, I'm
Who
looking
isn't
and
drinking?
they completely paint our yard.
I'm looking forward to seeing like who can keep up.
Liz isn't drinking, so she's automatically out.
She's going to have a drink or two. It's rude if she doesn't.
How is she? Is she okay?
Her bag's pretty fucked up.
She has to have at least one drink. I won't push it because respect. I've she has come here drink plenty of times, so she gets an excuse. But
Well, we're
she's like
gonna
one
be
drink.
there at like 11, so you're fine.
Day drinking.
I expect the biggest casualty to be Anthony.
Oh yeah, that I am part of that 4.5.
It's his
You
party,
are
and he'll die if he wants to.
oh, he will. He will.
Let's not forget my graduation party. I blocked out. Still was functioning somehow. Completely
Not well.
No, well,
I I did though.
smacking water bottles out of people's hands. Not my house.
Yeah, not well.
Grab a beer like a man.
I blacked out by fucking 3:30 in the afternoon, I think.
He woke up to Facebook pictures. When did I take these?
No, I woke up walking and leaving the house so Billy can get cigarettes.
In a dress.
That's what made me wake up, was thinking, "Oh shit, my guy needs smokes."
Yeah,
You're
he literally
keep it 100, Kodack.
he went from partying in the yard to walking down the street like, this is where I parked my car.
Oh my god. Hey, remember, I was completely fucked up. Did not even think about driving a vehicle.
Bam.
Good
Boom.
job.
That is surprising.
Remember to get smoked.
Good job, Billy, and your bum knee and your smokes.
Slowed us down.
So I was able to catch up.
No, I just need to remember to fucking get like at least 3 packs before I come up there.
Oh yeah. Because
Yeah.
do you know what it was? What made me worry is like, you know what? They're okay. But when I go to look at his location, he's in location for more than a couple of minutes.
I remember 3 things from that journey: leaving the house, being fucked up in a shirt, a lawn shirt,
Dress.
Billy saying, my leg, and you guys pulling up and me like, "Oh, they're here," and falling asleep in the car.
Yes.
There was no you guys.
No, I remember them pulling up. I remember them pulling up, me going into the trunk of the vehicle, which was a
That
SUV.
was just Rose.
Yeah, and just
Yeah. I took Josh home and picked you guys up. No, I picked you guys up first.
You did have Josh with you. Fuck, that's on me.
Yep. I had Josh with me and I picked you guys up. I dropped Josh off at home and then I brought you and your drunk asses back to the house and you went to bed after that.
Look, my car was useful.
Yay. Are you guys staying or no?
Not likely.
Okay.
Godspeed.
Like I said, Liz's back is real fucked up.
Mm.
Okay.
Poor Blue Jay.
Nice. But yes, I do predict that there will be some fatalities of the sorts. However, we did find some things to where we have extra things for people to sleep on. And so they're not sleeping in the grass or in the porta potty.
Unless that's where they fall asleep, that's on them.
If they fall asleep, yeah, if you pass out, you lay where you lie, and that is it. I am only the mother of 2. Anything else that happens after that is no longer my problem. You don't count.
Let's say, like,
You're
what the fuck?
adopted
I know I was, but come on now.
by marriage. You were adopted.
Damn.
I gave birth to 2 children. I have 2 children, and an
It's like when I was
adopted.
originally adopted. Yeah, you're here, but I don't fucking care. Go die for all I care.
No, I
I want to
love
make
you.
a joke, but it's too gross even for this podcast.
I know. I love you more than your original adopted.
Okay, that's nice.
You can't say that I don't treat you much better.
Mm. Yeah. Too bad they ghosted me.
Wow.
It's a transition to my topic.
Speaking of Scoogle Ghost.
Fuck, I put a transition here for me and I didn't even fucking use it.
Oh, the roast. I got the roast.
Show you a roast. Well, time to get spooky with a trail through the mountains of Gordon. My topic tonight is the Gordon Mountain Ghost. So let's travel back to the year. Oh my god, this one was 100 years ago.
Oh, shit. Wow.
Yeah, we're in 2024. Yeah. 1925. There are a pair of hikers coming back from a nice Sunday church service because that's what people did back then.
Walk to church.
Yep. They're coming back from church, first of all.
Either way, they walk. They ain't driving.
Fair enough. Fair. Well, you know what? Model Ts weren't that, around yet here in Pennsylvania. But they were enjoying their time along the trails of a singular mountain that was between the Appalachian and Blue Mountains here in Pennsylvania when they discovered something that no one could really imagine.
Just
Cloud.
saying, this is down the road, and I've never been fucking with this ghost.
We'll get there. Don't worry, Mr. Allergies. Claude and Mary Duncan were taking their nice stroll at their nice, church service, praise Jesus and all that. Had some nice wine and bread.
Jesus.
And then they saw several crows in the area and thought, oh, well, you talk to God. Let's go see what the fuck this is. With their interest piqued, they went to investigate and found a pair of legs protruding from a bush. And unlike the Bible, this bush was not on fire.
It's the Smoky Bandit Kodak legs.
Well, this grass was smoky. Hey, my leg is about 20% better, okay? But this grass was smoky, and on top of it, in there, was a mutilated, burnt corpse of what appeared. Have some goddamn respect for the dead. Spoiler. There was a young woman, her corpse was there, and there was a unique scent of gasoline rising from her body.
She was smoking hot body.
Jesus Christ. This is why there's ghosts. They examined her closer and discovered a skull smashed in and gashes along her arms.
She did the mesh.
Jesus fuck. That's big. Wow.
That was far for even me.
Yeah, even I'm like, what the fuck? I know I can try to keep things light here, but Jesus Christ, a woman just 100 years ago. The reports of this murder led to a massive manhunt and apparently a lot of fucking jokes 100 years later. But despite local assistance, the killer's identity was never discovered. One of the largest cold cases in the county's history.
You just ghosted like your dad.
Well,
It's a twofer.
this time, to my dad, her identity was never discovered. Because I didn't know who he was. There was only rumors. Most of them was that she was a runaway or she belonged to a house where women performed ungodly acts, according to that time. Prostitute.
We got it.
Just
The
make
woman of the night.
a woman of the night. Local police believe she was murdered somewhere else and was just dumped at this location.
She liked to smash.
God damn it.
We'll get there. We'll get there. A coroner at the local Ashland hospital estimated that the victim was a young woman, aged somewhere before 20 to 24, and was killed between 4 to 10 days prior to her body discovered, hence possibly being dumped there.
But it's Ashland, so that estimate could be wrong.
No, that hospital is terrible. I've been there.
Yeah.
Not
Could
the
have been in
best.
her 40s and been there for 3 months.
Well,
4
back-
of those 10 days could have been in the hospital before they're like, oh, hey.
Yeah, well, back then also medical science wasn't the best. I mean, this was a time where you're a whore to the asylum.
Hey, lobotomies were coming around. It's fine.
Yeah, this is pretty lobotomy. That's how old it was. Local police believe she was, as I said, killed, separate location, dumped along the mountain, and then lit on fire to try and hide some evidence.
This girl is so
Christ. Now, at this time, there was a lot of organized crime in the area. Billy, as you covered recently, the Molly McGuires. There was other local gangs in the area. Also, white slavery, as also you mentioned in your episode about the Molly McGuires. Irish here, they were basically treated as slaves. There's ideas that someone with wealth and power kidnapped her, took her, and murdered her. There was a lot of trafficking going on a lot of this time. Police believed that this might have just been some woman that was kidnapped by someone with power and wealth and hard-art her. assaulted her, and then took her, killed her, choked her out, killed her, strangled her was a more appropriate term. Took her body to this location and lit her body on fire. Any jokes there, Odell?
This is a terrible situation, babe. Why would you make a
Huh.
joke about it?
Well, I'm just making sure because, there were two possible identities for her. Both was from the aforementioned Shamokin. Yeah. There were two women who were reported missing. Billy is on mute again, probably taking another pisser. They assumed it was their identities due to a distinct red hair. Keep in mind, red hair is pretty rare. Then again, there's a lot of Irish back then. Irish have red hair, so it was, assumed it could have been one of them. However, one of them was found in Shamokin, alive and well, and another one was actually found in Detroit, so they ruled them out. Witches. That another theory. It was a witch, hence why she was a ghost. Who the victim and the killer was is a complete mystery about this crime. However, it's not the only mystery. There were reports that ghostly figures have been seen along the mountain. Travelers, especially around this time, began to report that they had malfunctions with their cars along this stretch of road, mostly including that their headlights began to dim randomly and that they began to experience engine trouble. These rumors continued till about the 80s, from what I read, and then began to kind of peter out. Now, there was an instance where a local auto dealer just decided to fuck with people and mannequins with bed sheets along the mountain to try to give off the appearance of ghosts. However, this doesn't really explain the car malfunctions. I will say that I worked on this mountain for Wegmans in their distribution center, which was actually an amazing place to work at. Probably my favorite place to work at so far, if we're not including working with a spouse.
Shut up.
And I worked till about 2:30, 4:30 in the morning. And outside of a few instances of roadkill, I never really experienced anything that was troubling. However, there are still people to this day that report seeing things. If you go back to listen to our Ashland House episode, where I grew up in a house that was haunted, where I believe kind of in tune with the spirits, whatnot, I never really felt anything terrible there. So it is all likely just a rumor that someone spoke up. However, to each their own. The main story is that some poor woman whose identity was never found, whose family could never know what happened. She died a horrible death. But that is my piece on this. Definitely just looking up. There's a lot more information to this, a lot more story, especially with the local population. To this day, people still stay true to the fact that there's a ghost on that mountain. There's people that I grew up with that live near the mountain that believed some spirit was there. I just can't say I ever found something there. It was just my own experience.
I just don't want my car to break down.
Yeah, seriously.
That was my biggest fear out of anything working on that. Like when I started working there, I was like, fuck, don't stop working. Because I mean, there are plenty of times, especially in high school, when it was okay to have a few beers as a teenager as you're going through whatever. You just did that. Nothing ever happened. Go for rides through small areas. Actually, there was one time coming through, it was foggy, where the headlights began to dim a little bit. But outside of that, there really wasn't much activity.
Isn't this the same road or mountain? If my placement is a little off. But you told me how you used to have nightmares of being stuck on a road, and you end up always on that road. What road was that? Was that Gordon Mountain?
That wasn't Gordon Mountain, that was oh my god, hold on. I'm trying to think, 'cause I can, like, kinda picture it still. I don't think it was a nearby road, but it wasn't exactly Gordon Mountain Road.
It wasn't, but was it on Gordon Mountain, just not Gordon Mountain Road?
It was along a local mountain. I mean, you gotta think the whole area is full of mountains and hills.
Yeah, but I remember you telling me a story about how you would there was a road you were on, and you keep having a reoccurring dream of being back on that road and something bad
You
happening.
know, that was more towards, like, the Centralia area,
Okay.
which was had a lot of bad spirits and stuff go along with it as well.
Negative energy.
Yeah. And then there was another road, actually pretty close to Gordon Mountain, but it was kinda off a little bit to where that's where, like, I would imagine that white car
Mm.
that I would see a lot as I was a kid. Wherever I went, I would see this white car somewhere, and no one believed me. Like, I pointed out, and, like, no one else saw it, but I could still see it, but started with that road with some spirit, but yeah. That's what I'm saying. Personally, I don't necessarily believe in the Gordon Mountain Ghost because with all the experience I have being attuned to different spirits that I believe are real, I never really felt
Presence.
anything. I didn't feel a presence. I didn't feel, like, spooked out. I didn't feel anything.
Okay.
But if we are done with the spooky in this home area on this mountain, I will hand things off to Rose, where she will speak on 2 topics that are becoming increasingly more important to us, especially this first one. So go right ahead.
As you know, I like to do, awareness months, and I figured with this being a birthday month of one of ours, I figured just why not just take a moment and shed some light on things, especially because they are near and dear to us, and I want to talk about it. I have 2 topics this week, and both of them are very popular in the month of April.
Okay.
The first one being Autism Acceptance Month. Now, for the listeners who don't know, our daughter is in the midst of being helped with her speaking because she is towards the nonverbal, and she is on a waiting list for full diagnosis, but she has had some testing done. And being a parent who deals with such things, it's difficult, but she is amazing. She is smart. She is joyous, and she is all things that a kid should be.
It is really interesting.
But it's interesting, and it is interesting because she learns how to use her words without using words.
And, like,
She's smart as fuck.
she is, like, today I watched her, like, she wanted to go into the bathroom, like, she wants to sit in the toilet, and her attachment to the big toilet was off, and she went and picked it up, and I didn't tell you when I saw this either, so
Mhm.
my fault, 'cause it just happened and a lot of things were going on, but she took attachment because she knew this is what she said, so lifted up the toilet seat, went to go attach it, I secured it, and then she was ready to go on, like, she just doesn't wanna speak too well, but, like, she knows certain things.
She knows some words, but she doesn't use them in the right contents, or she'll learn a word and she'll not repetitively use it, she doesn't retain it. So, she is currently taking
Speech
speech
therapy.
therapy, and whatever obstacles that we may overcome during this autism journey, we will definitely take it one step at a time.
But even she was like that nice lady that was here, she was like, "Wow, she's doing puzzles, she's doing
Mhm.
things that she shouldn't be doing at this age. She
I
just can't speak."
That's one of the things that I will talk about during this. but I just wanted to bring to light that I just not only just want to make awareness of it, but the fact that it's not just something that I'm just randomly speaking of. It is something that is something that we are going through. And being a parent is hard enough, but being a parent with children with obstacles, not so much disabilities, because she's perfect, but obstacles, it's so hard. Even with Cole, his ADD and everything that we go through with him. I mean, I feel like everybody has a little bit of autism in them. Everybody's on the spectrum of some sort, whether it's anxiety, depression, whether
Well, I
it
don't think anxiety disorder is autism spectrum. That's their own
no, but I'm
things.
saying everybody is on a spectrum of something. It's not so much autism. It could be on the spectrum of some kind of mental disorder in one way, shape, or form. I mean, life throws you through
I do have some thoughts on this, but I
events.
don't know if you're gonna get into it or not. So I don't know if I should wait or not.
You could probably just wait
Well,
and
I
we
just
just jump
find it
in there.
interesting because, like, when you think just 15 years ago, when we're all growing up, when you heard autism, it was somebody who had a special needs teacher with them in class, and they
Yes.
were, their arms were a certain way, and they couldn't communicate at all. And I'm not doing this effect to sound rude, is what it is, where they're like, "Ugh."
Autism was treated as retardation at some point.
Yeah, like you were retarded. I'm not trying to
Like
be,
Asperger's, it
yeah,
was it was considered high spectrum.
yeah. I'm
Now,
not saying retarded to be like
Yeah, look at
rude.
the asylums I covered.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. Whereas now it's like, oh, there is a spectrum. Just because you're autistic, that doesn't mean you can't fend for yourself. That doesn't mean you're in a wheelchair and you need a
No.
helper 24/7. That means you just
Over the
might need a
years
boost.
yeah, over the years, they have clarified that there is different it's like a low and high-end scale. People with high spectrum autism are closer to the Asperger's to where they don't speak, they don't function, they need day-to-day help. And Alina is on the mild end of it to where she she walks, she takes care of herself in a sense. She's just has that mental block that keeps her from being verbal and communicating and making eye contact.
It's like that one more thing. You keep saying like Asperger's as like a comparison or
Yeah.
something, as like they need help, yada yada yada. I knew someone when I was in the military who had Asperger's, and they were nothing like that. They just couldn't pick up on social cues.
Well,
Yeah, I work with a dude who has Asperger's.
Yeah,
that's more of the high end of autism.
they're really high end. It's like when I remember, I'm just wrong. I don't know. When I think of high end, I think of someone who needs like 24/7 assistance. This dude was just like he was fine. Like, he could do things. He could do complex things. He just couldn't pick up on social things.
Well,
Oh yeah,
there's
guy at work's full of shit.
autism is well, I'll get into that. I'll explain what it is and what it means to be, if that would help.
Yeah, let's bring awareness.
Autism spectrum disorder, also known as ASD, is a complex but lifelong development condition that typically appears during early childhood, and it can impact a person's social skills, like you were saying, communicative skills, relationships, and self-regulation. The autism experience is different for everybody. Everybody has their own ways of, if someone get 5 people can be diagnosed in the same room with autism, and each one of them has something uniquely special with them. Not everybody is going to deal with their autism the same way. You could have a different form of autism. It is defined by a certain set of behaviors and is also referred to a spectrum condition that affects people differently and varies for each person. While there is no known single cause for autism, it's generally accepted that it's caused by different brain structures or genetic factors. Early diagnosis and interventions can greatly support an autistic individual with resources needed for someone to live a full and productive life. Like I said before, when we were discussing this before we started recording, it's either something that happens during brain development or it could be something that is genetic. Now, neither one of us were diagnosed with autism, but autism back then, unless you were extreme
Yeah,
case
no
to
one
where
really.
you had to physically have something wrong with you, they just looked at you like, oh, they're a little slow. They'll catch up eventually.
Yeah, that's something I was gonna bring up. Like, about myself. Because like we mentioned, like Alina, she's slow on vocabulary. I was the same way. And like it's no secret. I stutter sometimes. I have problems with some speech. My emotional fucking comprehension is all sorts of messed up. And it's always a wonder like, was I originally a little autistic, or is this like just the
It's-
the emotional trauma I dealt with and the physical damage to my brain from concussions? Like what?
I mean, that's always as an adult you can get diagnosed as well. It's harder to diagnose in a adult because of the signs, and you've learned to manipulate your social and your physical and your emotional standings because you've been through so much where you've adapted to a certain way.
Yeah, that's like I was just saying. Like I had a lot of emotional trauma that could impact a lot of things in the brain. We know that happens, research. And I have concussion, so that's damage to the brain. So who knows if I was actually born a certain way or if it's just all that just
Just trauma throughout the years affecting you.
trauma and just physical damage to the brain.
I mean, it's hard to tell. I mean, if you want to go get tested, you can go get tested.
No, I'm okay.
You don't want to.
I don't want to
It's
know.
me.
Hi.
I'm the problem. It's me. All right. Signs and symptoms and facts and the statistics that I have for these little signs here. So the signs and symptoms that you would normally see in someone with autism is restrictive or repetitive behavior, movements, or phrases. Someone who repeats themselves often, somebody who only does the same amount of things over and over again. You can often has that. Alina has a new thing now, like those faces that she makes with the flappy hands.
Yeah.
She makes the faces. She has this new thing now. She doesn't like something. She'll violently shake her head and her hand at the same time. It goes. "Mm."
What a Karen.
Co-occurring conditions including but not limited to mental health illness, gastric issues, seizure disorders, and more. I see where you're going with that, and I see your brain tweaking.
I just look at this list. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm autistic.
I'm autistic. Okay. Lack of response to normal stimuli, such as responding to his or her name, visual cues, making eye contact. Restricted or repetitive behaviors, movements, and phrases. Like I said before, it's something that, you know, you notice the same thing over and over again, or they only do the same thing over and over again. Delayed movement, delayed language, or delayed cognitive skills. Atypical verbal communication or non-speaking or nonverbal communication is one of the biggest signs, and difficulty understanding or expressing feelings.
Yeah, I bet you have some autism.
Touch of
He-
autism?
He's risen with autism.
Rhythm with autism, baby. Yeah.
All right, fun facts though. This one ought to make you feel a little better.
Oh, thank God. 'Cause I don't like some of these facts so far.
1 in 36 children are diagnosed with autism. Since 2000, the autism rate has been consistently increasing from 1 into 150 to now 1 in 36.
Jesus Christ.
The diagnosis rates for autism is rising by 10 to 17% each year. It's not that more people are becoming, that not saying that more people are becoming autistic or more people are developing brain issues.
Just like we're expanding.
I
like,
just think the spectrum of autism has coming to light to where you were either way extreme back in the day to where you had to be something kind of like
physically looked
physically and noticeably be wrong to where there were probably so many people who were autistic on a spectrum that was mild to low end, and it just went unnoticed, and because it wasn't something that was, oh, why is that person face tweaking when they're talking, or why do they repeat themselves, or why do they have weird hand gestures? Unless you were physically noticed to have an issue, you went under the radar. Technology these days and doctors these days, they started noticing things that, you know, like you notice ADHD went on a rise in everybody. Like there's so many people that ADHD was not a thing and all of a sudden it was a thing. Same thing here. It's just we've doctors and people have developed the way people function, and it's just something it's not so much it's just developed, it's just something that has just been discovered to be just been swept under the rug. Or ju
Medical advancements.
it is a beautiful thing, and it's also very scary. Fun fact, vaccines do not cause autism.
You know what pisses me off the most about that thought?
What?
It's that there's these people out there, these conspiracy theorists that say I'm not going to vaccinate my child because it causes autism, and it's like, so you rather your child be dead over the thought that they might be autistic?
Yeah.
Like, you care so little about your kid. Like, mm.
Another fun fact that might attack you a little bit, anxiety disorders affect up to 40% of individuals with autism.
You can fuck off, by the way. You know, I'm just putting that out there.
31% of children with autism have an intellect disability. 25% are on the borderline range, and 44% of the average or autism children have an average or above average IQ score than most non-autistic persons.
Yeah, because so many of them are, this is not rude as fuck, are special in a lot of ways.
I was reading somewhere where they believe that Albert Einstein was on a spectrum of some sorts, to where he was a genius, but there was definitely something wrong with him.
Well, because
And
some
it said
people today,
it could have been autism.
look at some of the people today. Elon Musk,
Elon Musk
like him or hate him
is
for the shit he
autistic,
does, he admitted it, but yet he's figuring all this shit out.
and
And
he's autistic.
the dude's putting rockets in space and trying to build tunnels underneath the earth to make super highways.
Yep.
Love him or hate him for what he does and what he's doing with Twitter/X and how he treats employees and all this other shit. And Tesla, he is smart.
Yep.
He is autistic too.
Yep. And
Look,
that's what this study was showing, that 40%, 44% of children or adults that were diagnosed, regardless of their challenges that they have for themselves, they are highly smart. I mean, look, how many times did we look at Alina do something and we're like, oh my gosh, she's so freaking smart. She just doesn't speak.
yeah. But like, look at some of the others, like successful billionaires of our world. Fucking Mark Zuckerberg. You can see his reaction to certain things. He's like fucking lost, but he redefined how we interact in the whole world. Computer guy, Gates.
Mm-hmm.
He acts like it sometimes too, but he's a fucking one of the richest people in this world. Look at half our politicians.
Half? Well,
Hey, I'm trying to be on the lower end of it, all right?
trying to
I
stay
mean,
right in the middle.
yeah, I don't want to piss anyone off too soon, okay? We're early in the voting season, okay?
It's election time. We're fucked.
Yeah, speaking of autism, look at the fucking people who vote.
Oh,
Yep.
how's that for a fucking segue?
I mean, that is definitely something here. But clearly, there is no cure for autism. However, they continue to research it and provide an understanding for the disorder that leads to better treatments, therapies, and a more positive, improved quality of life. Now, people with autism disorder just does not have some kind of life expectancy disability. They're set to live a full, happy, healthy life. And it's not something to where, somebody with some other kind of disorders that would take years off their life. Now, with early identification with this can dramatically affect the outcome of people who are diagnosed with autism. The earlier a child is diagnosed with it, the better. They could begin benefits such as early intervention therapies, which Alina is in now, and the sooner you figure out, the more better off you can educate yourself. There are no medical tests that you can do. There's no blood work, no brain scans, nothing that you can do to diagnose autism. a medical diagnosis based on observation of an individual based on their community, social interactions, and activities and interest.
Okay, that's what that answers my question.
And while there is not a single behavior or community test that can detect autism, several autism specific tools are now being used to diagnose people. Characteristics of your behavior for children to diagnose may not be apparent in infants from 18 to 24 months, but usually become obvious during early childhood, like 24 to 6 years of age, which I started noticing it about 18 months with Alina. Before she turned 2, I started noticing an issue. She really didn't wanna walk, but then she started running. She's everything that she did, she just didn't wanna she just delayed until she just took off with things. Like, she didn't wanna roll over, and then all of a sudden she started rolling over. Didn't wanna crawl, and then just started crawling. Didn't wanna walk, so I'm hoping one day she wakes up and she just starts running her mouth.
Can't wait.
Now,
You're gonna see a lot more booze go down this throat.
speaking of speaking of can't wait, the second part of my awareness month is April's also known as Stress Awareness Month.
Oh, so we're attacking me twice in today's
Be
Yeah.
aware of me.
episode. Be aware of me.
It's something that everybody deals with on a day-to-day basis, whether it's high end or low end. I just wanted to make awareness because stress is a silent killer. So stress is how we react when we feel under pressure or threatened. It usually happens when we're in a situation that we don't feel that we can manage or control, just like life itself. Stress and poor mental health are one of the biggest public health challenges that we are facing. They kind of go hand in hand, honestly. Just mine just play thumb wars all day. Uh Sadly, even though that we are still not taking this impact serious enough, we continue to separate mental health, physical health, vice versa. The reality is we can't separate these two. They go side and side, hand in hand, same side of the coin. There's no health without mental health, and stress can lead to numerous health issues.
That was a fucking line.
Thanks. From physical problems like heart disease, insomnia, digestive issues, immune system challenges,
Why'd you grab me when you said digestive issues? I want medicine
and
now.
serious mental health disorders such as anxiety and your friend, depression. It was just like the ultimate attack.
It's your birthday tomorrow, so I just fucking come full at you.
I feel like Billy's crying in a corner. He's awfully quiet over there.
Hey, he's muted again.
Oh, he's crying in the corner. She attacked me.
I needed another
was
beer.
peeing.
I was about to say he's about either the end of a beer or rocking a piss.
Stress Awareness Month has been held every April since 1992. So this has been held longer than you've been alive.
Apparently his bladder's under stress.
Oh, wait, I call you out on not being alive in 92 in mine too.
I am surrounded by dicks.
Old dicks.
Old dicks.
Uh,
My birthday's tomorrow. I'm still not in my 30s.
Shut up. Give it time.
Yeah, for a year.
1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting those health effects early.
Don't worry, I'll wait till you guys hit your 40s and make more jokes.
Mhm. Since this time, that 92, this has given us the opportunity for open conversation on the impact of stress. It's dedicated time to removing guilt, shame, and the stigma around mental health. It allows people to talk about stress and the effects and opening up about our mental and emotional state with friends, families, colleagues, and professions.
Did you know in 1991, if you talked about stress, they put you in the stockades?
You know, they used to just throw you in an asylum.
Yeah.
Yeah, up until 1991.
Free piercing called the lobotomy. What could you do for Stress Awareness Month? What can
Drink.
you do to help? Drink. You can
Bingo.
talk about it.
Smoke weed every day.
You could talk about it.
Bingo,
and
bango.
Crack cocaine.
No, we'll not do crack cocaine.
Mushrooms?
That's gonna make the stress worse.
Yeah, it'll make it worse.
LSD?
Mushrooms, though.
Ah?
No, mushrooms gonna make shit a lot better.
Maybe if
Mhm.
you're in the right mindset.
Hey, they say mushroom helps even with like upset mindsets.
Yeah, you can have a bad trip and still be like, a little better.
Wow, I saw 7 demons. Maybe my life isn't that bad.
These 7 demons are a lot nicer than the one I deal with in reality.
Yeah.
It never got that bad on mushrooms.
No
You've
comment.
you've been living in a beautiful field than a fungus.
Sorry, I'm a bunch of fun guy.
The best way to help with this is sharing your coping mechanisms that you have that may work with you. Everybody has stress and everybody
Booze.
has ways of dealing with it.
Booze.
Yes, I
Weed.
know your is booze.
Alcohol.
Please share your effects with other people because it might benefit somebody that you care about.
Get a case of beer, you'll be fine.
And it may help you take time to take your focus off your individual challenges and help them with theirs.
Drink a bottle of Jim Beam, you'll
Just
be
shove
okay.
it down. Shove it down.
Put it down in that chest of pain and just
So,
move on.
those
Cry
who
in the shower for 2 seconds and boom.
those who don't know, we are having an anti-stress party Saturday, April 20th.
Yeah, because it's 420.
So it's not my
It's gonna
birthday
be
party.
anti-stress as fuck.
Party.
Anthony's birthday party just turned into an anti-stress awareness month.
Y'all are welcome.
Doing God's work.
Another thing you can do to help people is to be nice to those who are very stressed and anxious, and those who are undoubtedly going through an experience of stress or anxiety in their life. So treat others with compassion.
Don't be a dick.
Don't
That basic thing we learned in 2nd grade.
Yeah, but some people still don't know how to do it. Look after yourself. Sometimes a lot of people are guilty of not giving themselves self-care. Take a time out of your day and relax and do something that you enjoy.
I just attack all of
Booze.
us here. Booze! Booze!
Oops.
Break
What
the femur.
causes stress?
So you want to talk about Alina again?
No, I had a different thought.
Oh, what's your thought?
Work, bills, your mother.
Life.
No. She hasn't been a pain lately.
We just mentioned it, so give it time.
My birthday's tomorrow. Give it a few hours.
Give it a
You
few
bring
hours.
this one on yourself.
Happy Labor Day! I love you. I
We
miss
cool,
you.
trash. We cool. Leave me out of it.
What can cause stress?
You
There's
know where
many
I live.
that cause stress. Wait, did I just miss something?
What?
Oh, I thought you.
Oh no, I told Josh because he has a game Saturday
Mm-hmm.
that we're going to do a shot for every touchdown they score.
Oh no.
Yep.
The
This
fuck
is-
we are.
You got a whole bottle in there, Billy.
However, you can. What causes stress?
Bitch.
Giving people too much alcohol causes stress. No, there's a lot of things that causes stress. You might feel stressed because of one big event, like birthday parties, or situations in your life, like planning weddings, or it might be the buildup of smaller things, like bills. These might take it. These might make it harder for you to identify what's making you feel stressed or how to explain it to other people. Like a lot. You may experience stress if you would feel under pressure.
Under pressure,
If
coming down on me.
if you face
Coming down on you.
if
Hey,
you
let's go.
if you face a lot of challenges in your life, if you're constantly worried about something, or you don't have much or any control over the outcome of most or any situation. You have responsibilities that you find yourself being overwhelmed with. you don't have enough work activities or change in your life, sometimes routine can drag you down. Experience discrimination, hate, or abuse. And if you are going through a period of uncertainty. Now,
Someone had to do it.
Under pressure. Did you know there's a used version?
you
Yeah,
are
really?
yes, there is. You are the
No,
closet.
really? He's asking us that?
Yeah, I know.
This
Like
was my cam.
Sorry, I didn't know this. Sorry, I didn't grow up stressed like you guys. I wasn't allowed music in certain ways.
now that I'm done being stressed out by my own
And your
Yeah.
dickbag friend.
and but now that I've gone and god damn it, Kodack. I'm gonna throw your phone.
I'll play it from my computer. Why is there something called Peter Griffin Scenes Godzilla? No comment.
I was trying to figure out what the fuck you just asked me.
There's a thing on here. Raptors and Stress out by 21 Pilots. Peter Griffin Scenes Godzilla. I can wait.
Please.
Boop.
I hope everybody found my April Awareness Month to be enlightening and educational.
I feel educated.
Remember to be kind to people who are stressed and to not have discrimination against those who you don't understand what is going through their brains or their mental, regardless if it is a condition or just being stressed because your husband acts like a 4-year-old autistic child.
And
Don't
don't be a dick.
don't judge me
Don't be a
autistic.
dick.
But by the way, my husband's autistic.
You just act autistic.
I probably am a little autistic. I
You
have
hear
autism.
him, he's upset. Oh, Alina could be on the spectrum, but I can't.
Yeah, come on. Brain damage and emotional trauma and a lot of other issues.
Okay,
Ugh.
born with it and being given it physically is two different things.
Well, as I was saying
And
before,
maybe it's healing.
that's what I'm saying. I don't know if with me, you can never know that I have before because there was issues with me. A lot of these things happened before
You could have been low end on the spectrum,
That's
and
what I'm
then
saying.
and then the high end got beaten into you
Yeah.
between the neglect and abuse
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
and the
Don't know.
emotional trauma.
I'll get myself test for autism. Wait, didn't the fucking one lady that was here listen to me was like, "Are you sure you're not?" Didn't she say something like that?
Anthony could not make his words compute. He sounded like he was having a stroke, and she would have either one of you been tested?
Yeah, she looked at me. She's like, "Have you been tested?" About my child again, please, madam.
You know this might be a genetic thing, right?
Ah,
He was Japan, and she was bringing the sun.
oh. Well, we can move on from the sun. Billy, you decided to keep your topic a secret, so fuck creating a segue for you. Take it away.
I like the lead in.
Oh, wait, you did kind of tell me about this.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, that's on me then. Fuck it, take it away.
Because I'm trying to spice up my writing style, I'm going full blown ID network on this bitch, and I did not zoom my screen in. What is wrong with me?
God, there's a tism.
Yeah, I like that 200%.
Billy Tism strikes again.
Keeping it in Pennsylvania with the Gordon Mountain Ghost, we're going to East Allentown, which was apparently once a nice part of Pennsylvania in the early '90s. Kodack, only the cool kids were alive for this one, so your alibi checks out. Happy birthday,
Oh.
technically early and belated, thanks to Podcast World.
Huh, thanks. Are you saying my birth caused a downfall to Allentown?
No, this was in 92.
Damn it.
No, you're just not a suspect.
Ah, cool.
Your alibi checks out.
In the early hours of August 5th, 1992, Joan Burkhart, a 29-year-old CNA, returned to her home after a night out with friends and noticed that something was off. A fan she had definitely left on before she left was turned off, and money was missing from her apartment. Joan had called the police, but upon searching the apartment, found that no one was there. They probably didn't follow up either because, well, it's Pennsylvania police force.
Yeah, police aren't that great.
Following the home invasion on August 9th, the police received another call from Joan's apartment complex. This time the call was from a noise complaint from a neighbor stemming from music from Joan's apartment. Upon arrival, the officers had noticed that the apartment window was open. After peering in, the officers forced their way into the apartment when they saw blood splattered everywhere. I used the wrong there, and I'm pissed off at myself on that one. The officers quickly discovered Joan's body on the couch. She had been brutally R-worded and bludgeoned to death. The autopsy showed that she was bludgeoned 37 times in the head, which seems a little bit of overkill. No fingerprints were left at the scene, however, detectives did find semen on a pair of pants on the floor.
That our
Unfortunately,
joke did not age well.
No, it doesn't. It usually does not. Fun.
Sorry, Billy.
No.
Go ahead.
Unfortunately, no DNA could be found. No match could be found. Officers had stated that this was likely related to the previous robbery that had occurred a couple days earlier.
Now, my best guess here, using my close to tism mind here, 37 hits to the head. That's usually kind of passion, is it not? Like they knew who the person was.
Yeah, usually they said when there's multiple stabs or multiple blunt force hits or fires like shotgun wounds, it's
Yeah.
personal, it's an act of passion.
In the early 90s, when like DNA technology still wasn't that great, right?
Yeah.
Especially fucking Allentown, one of the places like hell.
I forgot the reasoning in here, but I'll remind myself later. But there is actually reasoning.
Oh.
While conducting the investigation, officers found that Joan had herself a boyfriend. She was very quiet about her love life, but had been seeing a patient at the state hospital across the street from the apartment complex she lived in. Apparently, this was kind of the kind of mental institution you could just leave, which sounds safe. I never was at a mental institution you could just walk out of. Police had questioned the man who was seeing Joan, but he had stated that he had been at the hospital all night that night. The documentation from the hospital backed it up, and officers were back to square one on leads. They had questioned some of the tenants, but nothing really stuck when it came to motive or possible suspects. The case more or less ran cold. Fast forward almost a year to June 9th, 1993, in the way too early morning. 15-year-old East Allentown teenager Charlotte Schmoyer set out on her paper route for the day. Unfortunately, for some of the East A-Town residents, they didn't get their paper that morning. Charlotte's paper cart was found along her route abandoned. After the neighborhood began investigating, they discovered Charlotte's body in a wooded area nearby. She had also been R-worded and stabbed way too many times for it to really matter. Again, there was only DNA evidence at the crime scene, but again, no matches.
Jesus Christ. Well, I believe this rules out the kind of passion theory and someone just fucked in the head.
Yeah, I don't have an exact number on how many times she was stabbed, but it was like after like 10. Come on, buddy.
She was tenderized.
Yeah, she was cut up pretty bad.
After 20 days with no leads, our suspect strikes again. This time, our victim was Denise Sam Kelly. After her husband had left for a business meeting, Denise had decided to go to bed. She had left the window open because it was the end of June in Pennsylvania, and it's basically hell if you don't have air conditioning. Denise woke up after hearing sounds in the house. Originally thinking her husband was home, she thought nothing of it, and then she saw the shadow of a man not in her husband's build holding a knife. The man attacked Denise, but after a struggle with the man, Denise managed to bite the man and escape the house. Our suspect caught up to her in the front yard where he tackled, R-worded, and tried to strangle her. Thanks to all the commotion, the nearby neighbor turned on his outdoor light and scared the attacker off. Denise was in bad shape but survived. After she had arrived at the hospital, she took a rape test kit and, of course, no matches. She was in the hospital for about 2 weeks recovering from her attack. This will also not be the last time we hear about Denise Kelly in this write-up.
That is fucking insane. You know what I enjoy about this write-up, though?
That's investigation discovery style.
A, yes. B, when it comes to the attacks, like R word, but when it comes to the kit, like, yeah, rape taste kit.
Yeah, I didn't think that one through.
Let's censor this word for the violence, but when it comes to the science,
I mean, that is what they call it in the medical field.
yeah.
Let's also just point out, instead of saying rape test kit, you put rape taste kit.
Did he really?
No, you said that he put. You said taste.
Oh,
Just
did
now.
I?
You said rape taste.
I meant test.
Yes.
Well,
So
hopefully no one
you-
else catches on to that.
You that part in our write-ups where we say it gets worse. It was you that made it worse.
Well,
A taste of the tism and the R word.
oh,
Oh, it tastes like extra chromosomes and semen.
oh, that's a horrible combination. I haven't had that since I went to Catholic school.
Oh goodness. All right, let's go back to 1993 before Kodak was born.
After laying low for another couple weeks, on July 14th, 1993, the attacker struck again. This time, it was a grandmother named Jessica Jean Portnoy.
What the?
Again, it was an R-word and strangulation case, but our attacker had slipped up. 47-year-old Jessica's grandchild witnessed the attack and, when asked by the police, gave a matching description as Denise Sam Kelly.
What the fuck?
I left the worst part out of it. Like, I barely touch on it at the end.
Oh, great. Can't wait.
This was also around the same time Denise returned home from the hospital and was understandably worried that her assailant would return to finish the job after she had given a description of the man. Denise was put into heavy police protection and even had an officer staying with her and her husband overnights, waiting on a return.
You know how bad it is where I am in shock where the police are like, hey, let's keep someone here to watch?
Yeah, right? Look, they cared at one point.
Like, holy shit, they're doing a job.
The police had decided that they wanted to set a trap using poor Denise as the bait. They would purposely leave the brandy new alarm system off at night with the windows blatantly open. Obviously, our dude isn't the brightest because this is an obvious crime red flag, but guess what? It actually worked. On July 31st, 1993, the officer assigned to babysit the Kellys' home witnessed a large gloved hand entering through the same window and popped the screen. With the house being dark, the suspect couldn't see the officer, whose name I really wish I wrote down at this point because saying the officer sucks. And when the I mean, we could speculate. We could call him Officer Bob.
Sir Bob, you killed Officer Bob? You know, Officer Hobart for some reason, but I like Officer Bob. How about Officer
Okay.
Jim Bean?
What was that last one?
Officer Jim Bean?
All right, fuck it. And when when Officer Bob Jim Beam instructed the man to freeze, he witnessed a suspect pull a gun. Officer Jim Bob Beam decided
I like how you like, no, his name's not Jim Bean. It's Bob Jim Bean.
And then Jim Bob Bean.
See, we like Bob too. Jim Bob Bean, doing what they do best, pulled his sidearm and fired at the suspect multiple times. The suspect ran into the kitchen area where the cop gave chase. The man was basically a rat in a trap at this point, but managed to smash out a back window, lacerating his arm, and flee the home.
Well, didn't get his cheese.
The officer knew he had wounded the suspect and he was cut from the window, and he quickly put out a BOL out to all the local hospitals for anyone coming into the emergency room with lacerations relating to glass or gunshot wounds. Believe it or not, dumbass criminal, this actually fucking worked too, and the police had their man.
Good for Officer Bob Jim Bean.
Jim Bob Bean.
Jim Bob Bean. Fucking legend.
Their man was barely even legally a man, dude. Motherfucker. was was barely even legally a man, as it was just 18-year-old Harvey Miguel Robinson. Oh, I caught that one.
You were so close. So close.
Harvey seemed like a normal dude just out of high school. He was living with his mother in the East Allentown area. Oh, the speculation on motive was just kind of any woman in the East Allentown area. That was really all he gave in any kind of confession. Remember that almost 1 year stint where nothing was really happening and police didn't have any leads after the first attack?
Facts.
Turns out Harvey was in prison on an unrelated burglary charge, but was right back to work when he got out. This also means he was only 17 at the time when he set his sights on 29-year-old Joan Burkhart. DNA tests were run, and for the first time in this case, matched the face to the baby juice. I left baby juice in there just for reaction.
I don't like that. No, not good. Not the best of context.
Riz is.
He touches risen with the jism. I'm going hell for that one.
Oh, but the one that does it?
Yeah, that one. Nothing else.
He's not alive.
After
Sorry.
Thank you.
I'm like, oh wait, what? I missed it. After what seems like way too long of a time, Harvey was formally charged on December 6, 1993. He was charged with attempted murder, burglary, and 3 separate counts of first-degree murder. In November of 94, he was sentenced with the death penalty, making him the youngest person to ever be sentenced to death. I think that still stands, but I wouldn't be surprised if Florida or Texas has given 8-year-olds the chair at this point.
I thought there was like a kid sentenced to death in the South. Like,
The redhead.
was it a red? I'm thinking of like a black kid who was like sentenced to death like years and years ago, where he was like falsely accused of killing somebody.
I mean, probably.
It, it was back in the days where like racism was socially acceptable.
That sounds like the South.
That don't act. It's Florida. Come on.
You know what you are.
I have nothing to argue.
Listen, there's two Florida. South Florida, where it's like, hey, Latinos are cool. And there's Panhandle, Florida. It's like, get off my fucking lawn.
I'm not from either one of them.
I know you're somewhere like in the middle where it meshes together.
Yeah, Central's a weird place.
Yeah, and it's like, what's our identity? The Civil War is going to start there.
Hands down.
Yes.
12 years later, in April of 2006, Harv's charge for Joan Burghart's murder was changed to a life sentence on the grounds he was only 17 at the time of her murder. In December of 2012, Harvey gave up his right to an appeal in the Schmoyer case for another life sentence. However, in 2013, the Supreme Court upheld the death penalty for the Fortnoy case, the grandmother.
So he said, I won't fight it if you don't take my life. And the Supreme Court was like, fuck it, you're going to die.
You're getting life. We're just not going to do it.
Oh, nice, nice, nice.
But they upheld the death for Schmoyer.
Nice.
In the way not too far back time, in October of 2019, a Pennsylvania judge resentenced Robinson to 35 to life after the appeal for the Burkhart murder. Harvey is still currently incarcerated in Skippack Township, which is only a short 63 miles from my humble abode in School County. When he was resentenced, the judge begged Harvey to donate his brain to science after his death, saying it was the one gift you could give to people.
I mean, that's true. That's what a lot of them want to have these people do, so we can like try to figure out what the fuck their problem is.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably a good idea. This guy seems like a dick, though, so I doubt he'd do it. This has been Full Send Investigation Discovery, and we thank you for your time. Honest, honestly, I never even knew about this sick fuck until a few weeks ago. Also, somewhere along his timeline, he had stalked, R-worded, and strangled a 5-year-old child. I left this
Oh,
out for 2 reasons. 1, because our write-ups are already super fucked up and woke. 2, because it was a child, finding information about this particular assault was very hard to find. The 5-year-old did survive, but that's about all I know about that one. Next week, we're going back to baseball and back to riots when we visit the Disco Demolition Night in good old Chi-Town.
I rewrote every joke I made past 20 minutes.
What a Billy. Make us sound like the assholes, and he just drops that one on us.
Wow.
Hey, I used R-word almost the entire thing, except for the actual medically accurate rape test kit.
Do appreciate medical accurateness.
The rape taste.
That sounds horrible. Okay.
You're the one who said it. I started laughing.
Listen, we just established I'm risen with autism, all right? So let's just not, let's be easy, okay? Before you get us canceled.
Goodness.
Before you're what's the word? Autism phobic?
There's got to be something better for that.
Probably.
Anti-tism.
I like that actually. Not that I like being anti-tism. It just flows better. Okay. Before we get canceled,
We're walking a fine line.
yes, there's a fine line here. One of the finer lines we've walked in quite a while. We appreciate everyone listening. One thing I forgot to incorporate in our intro is some of our TikToks have been sending off lately. This week we reviewed 2 drinks. Be my memory. What did we?
CJ's, which was absolute ass.
12%.
12%.
12% man can of a beer.
$1.29 a can.
Only drink that if you are desperate. Yeah.
Cheap drink, and it'll get you real fucked up on a low budget.
Because I would rather just spend the $30 and get a bottle of liquor.
And Captain Morgan's Slice.
I actually have one right here.
Ooh.
Margarita. Oh my god, Bill, these are so good. And probably the second most viral video we have on TikTok next to your second stand-up I posted. And there's actually people saving our TikToks now. So go check that out. Check out our socials. Please do support us. It helps us grow, helps get the word out there about us. Especially if you enjoyed this. Next week, we have the birthday recap. I forget what I'm doing. Oh, I'm doing Change Leads next week. Do you know what you're doing next week?
No, not yet.
Good start.
Be a mystery.
Mystery, yes.
It might just be a whole roast the Kodack birthday party.
Awesome. Can't wait to look forward to it. Love being attacked. So, again, check us out on our socials. If you enjoyed this episode, hey, feel free to give us a rating. That helps, get us more listeners. Would appreciate it. I don't want to be cringe.
And those who are listening to these episodes, if you want to go ahead and give a big fat happy birthday, whether or not it is early or late, to our co-host with the most host, a happy birthday shout out to Mr. Kodack here, to let him know that after 29, it is all downhill.
It gets worse.
Yup. It gets worse.
You have military age, but wait until your body catches up with your mental.
They're both terrible.
Yeah, but it gets worse.
My mental health gets worse than this.
Worse.
Oh God, put me in a hospital now.
But go ahead and shout it out. If I remember, I'm gonna throw this out here. If I remember, speaking of the TikTok, I want to be able to, because I don't know how to do this. You're gonna have to help me. I want to do when people come into the door, they have to predict who will be the drunkest.
Or we can figure that out.
So take many videos of people and then splice them together on who they feel is going to be the drunkest by the end of the night.
Actually, me doing these TikTok videos and editing them has to teach me a good bit about video editing. So, Billy, next time we do stand up, I might be able to do more video editing for it.
Oh, neat.
So
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm having people introduce themselves and say, "Hey, I'm so and so, and I think this person's going to be the drunkest,"
It would be cool to have a nice little video collab of like everyone here and whatnot.
and then do an after fact video of who actually was the drunkest.
Get people on their way out. How drunk are you?
I mean, I feel like that's going to be hard to follow up with,
Yeah,
but
whoever we get.
like if everybody thinks, I have a feeling a lot of people will vote you to be the drunkest.
What I don't count.
You shouldn't count.
No.
However, I think you're going to be the drunkest, and second runner up drunkest, I'm going to say CJ.
Yeah, it's gonna go me, CJ, JT,
Oh,
because
I
he's
have money
staying
on
here.
Julie too.
Oh, Julie's gonna be a problem
Julie's going to be an issue.
for her own good reasons.
But I support the chaos.
Yeah.
And we love Julie, and I can't wait to see what version of Kodack she's gonna come as.
I'm looking forward to a lot of these versions.
And another thing is that I wanna post is we're gonna do a competition on who is the best impersonator of Anthony Kodack.
Oh, yeah, we'll take pictures. We'll post them.
Yes. So everybody's gonna come, and everybody's gonna come dressed up or their favorite memory or impression of Anthony, and I cannot wait. And as long as I functioning enough to take a picture of you beating the shit out of your own face, I can't wait.
It's gonna be a time.
But until then, I feel that wraps up tonight's episode.
Well, then, until you see what kind of shenanigans bullshit we put out next week, as we're doing this week, full fucking send it.
Full send it.
Well, see?
Billy, just say it. I didn't stop you. Say it, please.
For the love of God.
Full send it.
Thank you.